Hello everyone, I'm Carly, and thank God we are doing a draft because it was starting to get hot in here with all these book boyfriends.
And I'm Sam, and honestly, I'm paying these boys so much money to be on my team, I'm gonna have to put them on layaway.
And welcome to Read Receipts with Carly and Sam, our book-based podcast covering all the latest hits and some stories off the beaten path.
With a few fun and exclusive episodes mixed in between.
Okay, but last time, officially, for this year, let's go through and say it one more time. Welcome back to the Summer of Love. Ooh!
Carly, I can't believe that's the last time we're gonna do that. Obviously, until next summer.
Until next summer, don't worry.
Still,
Sam, we're gonna have to put it away now.
Oh,
Goodbye.
just box it up.
Put it in storage.
But I think we've got a really good last, fun episode for the Summer of Love.
Oh, for sure. We are ending this scalding hot love season with a little bit of competition, a little bit of a game by doing a book boyfriend draft. If there's
Bringing
ever
the horn back.
appropriate time. Let's go!
Let's go!
Go team! I'm trying to think of it. I once was a cheerleader. I'm like, I should have one cheer in my head, but there's HOLD, hold that line. There we go.
Loved that.
Thank you. That's right. I once
You said
could do a
I
herky.
was a cheerleader once.
What position was I? Front spot. I was too scared to be a flyer. They tried to put me up there once, and I was like, put me down.
Not me,
But obviously, I was way too small to, I
Yeah.
couldn't be base. I mean, honestly, TBH, I'm like, I think I could have handled being base.
Yeah.
But they weren't going to let me do front spot. I was 5, well, I don't know how tall I was then. I was very short.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
so.
I never did any cheerleading, but I do think I would have been a flyer.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
Because you're lightweight.
Yeah.
So. Did you do any sports?
Very easy to toss, I think.
Yeah.
I played tennis and I
Oh.
swam competitively.
Wow, dang.
Yeah. So I was pretty,
Look at them arms. The gun show.
Look at them noodle arms.
I did soccer for 2 years, and it was just the only sport that my sister hadn't played yet, so that's why I picked.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Low-key, I really wanted to do softball. Not to be
Yeah.
a stereotype, but
Yeah.
lots of lesbians play softball.
Oh, okay.
Not that I'm a lesbian, but still, women interested in women.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sister did all the sports, so. Which is fair. I mean, I was literally singing and dancing in the corner most of the time. I don't know why my parents didn't put me in dance.
That feels like, that could have been
That would have been
an opportunity.
a great opportunity,
right
but
there.
no, it's not a competitive sport. So, I mean, and also, it could be. But
Dancing with the Stars.
hello?
Hello.
Yeah. But, oh well, anyway, back to the point of the episode.
What we're trying to say is that we are more than just brains, people. We're also brawn, okay? We've also got that,
Yes, which makes us very equipped to talk about today's topic
Yes.
of a draft.
Of a draft. Before we do get into the most anticipated draft of the year, we should say that obviously we'll be pulling from the source of all of these books that we've been reading and just other popular books as well that we haven't been. And there's a large pool out there. So just before you listen and watch this episode, make sure that if you hear a book title, we may just want to start with a book title before we say the boyfriend, to pause or skip ahead, or maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say skip this episode because it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think
But just be warned that there will be spoilers ahead.
If there's something that you plan on reading and you want to save it, then, you can skip. But to be fair, maybe listen just a little bit because I'll be honest, we each have prepared a list of potential options that we might choose.
Yes.
And I do have a couple where I actually haven't read the book and I just am I know the girlies like them. So, maybe feel the situation out before you jump ship for a segment.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll try and say the book as well. That way, if it is on your list, we'll try and say the book first, then maybe pause for a second. That way, if it is on your list, you can skip ahead, timestamp ahead.
Yeah.
To just the next draft pick.
Yeah, I'll try to put timestamps in the description probably. Usually for things like this, I try to put timestamps so that way people can sort of gauge the next time they can move, to the next segment.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that if
Yeah.
that is something you're concerned about.
For sure. But yeah, just so you know, you've been warned.
You've been warned. Before we get into the draft, we'll go ahead and explain a little bit about what exactly we're doing here. So, this is a book boyfriend draft. What we are doing is that we are going to be taking turns, each of us, picking a book boyfriend from a book. Technically, I mean, book boyfriend is maybe a bit of a generous word. It could be any sort of, I guess, male character that could be of romantic interest. With romantasy, I feel like there are sometimes like a couple of options.
Yes.
Even if you got your main one, like, Reese is like the main one in ACOTAR, right? But then there's also Cassian, Azriel, yada yada.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
in some of these cases, there's a lot of options. We will be bouncing back and forth, choosing who we want on our team. And
We're the coaches here.
we're the coaches, and we're picking our team. And then we are going to be going head to head over on social media and seeing who comes out on top.
Yes. And the losing team captain, one of us, yours truly, will have to not only face the loss of the coveted championship ring, but will also have to participate in a punishment to be decided later on that will be aired out to all of our fans, possibly in a future episode, definitely on social media. More on that later.
Yes.
And like with every typical draft, we're going to start this one with a coin toss.
Yes. All right. I have a coin here.
Yes, for all the people listening and not watching, there is a coin here now.
Fittingly, it's a golden dollar. It's
Ooh.
Sacagawea. So, we're about to talk about a lot of men, but it all starts with ladies. So,
Okay.
one of us has to call it. You want to call it?
Okay, I'll call it when it's in the air. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
God, I'm scared.
Here we go.
Okay. I'm like, can I catch this?
Heads.
It's heads!
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Obviously, there were only two options. Like, either I was going to go first or I was going to go second.
Yeah, it's not like it's a big stakes thing of like, oh, there's
Right.
5 of us.
There's like a ton of us. Yeah. But for some reason, I like didn't prepare to go first.
Yeah. Oh,
I was
really?
like, yeah.
I did.
I don't know
Honestly, I
why.
did kind of prepare to go first.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. Now I actually am a little bit nervous about.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll just see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm so excited.
I'm like turning my camera or
I
my
know. I have
computer.
to like
Don't
turn
look at my,
my
list.
notes to the side.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All
Sam,
right.
I do have books ready that we can grab. I can grab it for you whenever
Okay.
you make
Perfect.
your choice.
Perfect.
If it's down there.
Yeah.
All right. Who's your first
All
pick
right.
in the book boyfriend draft?
My first draft pick. Okay. This is so nerve-wracking.
First pick is always low-key hard because
First pick is always low-key hard. You never know, how it's
Yeah.
going to go. But I think I have a pretty solid guy lined up. I do want to say in advance, Carly, I think this guy is on your list.
I'm scared.
I
I had like 2 main ones that it was like they have to be on my team.
I feel like I have a pretty good feeling that you maybe were banking on this guy, maybe to be your quarterback, but I think he's a solid first round pick, and I think it would be a mistake, honestly, on my and my team's part to not draft Zayden Ryerson.
Wait, can you say that again?
Ryerson?
Ryerson.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Zayden Ryerson.
Ryerson.
Doesn't even fucking know his name.
I never say his last name.
I'm beyond disappointed because obviously this was my number 1 drafted pick.
I
So-
had a feeling.
You chose well. I was really hoping that you would go with a different shadow daddy so that way
Yeah.
I could have
I understand.
this shadow daddy.
I understand.
Especially after I shit talked the other shadow daddy on our last episode or our 2 episodes ago.
Yes, I felt like obviously you need a shadow daddy on your team, okay? You need a classic
Yes.
guy. And I do feel like we did kind of talk about overall how Zayden was of the shadow daddies top tier for both of us. Obviously, you've talked a lot more about how much you admire him as a player. He's a good guy. He brings a lot to the team. But again, like I said, I think it would just be a shame with the first round pick to not draft him for my team. I think he's going to bring some good stuff over here to Team Sam.
I agree. I think that we talked a little bit about him in the last off at the shelf episode, because we were talking about Rhys and we were comparing him a little bit to Rhys, and we kind of were talking about how, you know, obviously in some ways they are very similar, you know, especially in terms of the context of their books, and like, you know, there's overlap of the mind talking and the shadows and all that, but I do personally feel like Xaden is better. Obviously, Xaden is my OG, like, favorite book boyfriend. And I'll be honest, in my personal rankings, he actually has moved to second place in real life for me.
Oh, okay.
But I do still think he's great. And I do kind of worry about where he's going to stand as, like, the Empyrean series continues.
Yes.
Since he is in hot water.
That is fair.
But
that is fair.
I think he's a really stand-up guy, in my opinion. He loves his girl, but he also is like, my girl will fight for herself. Obviously, there's a little bit of, like, that changes at times. But, like, he is Venom, guys. Give him a break. He's going through some shit. Okay? Like, let's have some empathy for the situation. And, yeah, I love him.
I'm really excited to have Xaden on Team Sam. I think he's a classic book boyfriend. He brings a lot to the table. Like you were saying, you know, he's loyal, a stand-up guy. He's powerful, obviously. And we do like somebody that's a little brooding, that's a little mysterious. You were also mentioning that he does have some personal things going on in his life. But I think when it comes to laying it all out on the battlefield, he's pretty focused, you know? Like, I think he's going to bring his A game.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
So,
I mean, I'm sad for me, but I love that for you.
Well, you have the second round pick, so...
Yeah, man. I kind of feel like I have to pick a certain person because it's like, I don't want you to have both of them. I'm going to go with Rhys. Look, we have to disperse
she
the
can't
talent.
Have both of them.
We have to disperse the talent.
Yes. I understand.
So obviously, I chose Rhys. Honestly, mostly because, like you said, we have to disperse the talent.
We have to disperse the talent.
I truly, if this is a competition, you can't have both of them.
That's
I feel
fair.
like
that's fair.
I feel like that's an easy way to lose.
That's fair.
So we got to diversify the team. Even though, like I said 2 episodes ago, I'm technically not the biggest Rhys fan.
I hope Rhys doesn't hear your interviews from the past where you were kind of shading him a little bit now that you're welcoming him onto Team Carly.
I'm going to have to hope he's been dead in the past few minutes since that happened. But it's only for a short amount of time. So, anyway, there obviously are positives about Rhys. You know, I think that even though, in my opinion, like, is it a little bit toxic sometimes the way that, especially, honestly, when Feyre is pregnant, he is like, he really comes for other people and is like, I will do anything to protect my lady in, like, a crazy way. Honestly, very similar to the way that Xaden might, for different reasons.
Yeah.
But similarly, even though I do find that toxic, I also can see how on the one hand it's also like, it's kind of nice, like, ooh, I'm so well valued.
Yeah.
So he's got that going for him. I do think that it is a really fun reveal that, you know, we have the first book and, like, he's just sort of like a side player and everything. And then it turns out, like, all of this stuff meant something and that, like, he truly is mated to Feyre. And, like, he was sending her the images of, like, the stars and the moon, and then that's what she ends up painting. And whenever he first sees her and is like, there you are, I've been looking for you.
Yeah.
Like, that whole reveal is crazy.
Yeah.
And is such a, like, huge shocking moment that I think has really stuck with a lot of people, and that is why he is, like, so high on so many people's book boyfriend lists.
For sure.
And I totally get it. Like, I definitely, when I read that chapter, I was stunned. I will say that I just feel like in general, now that I've read more books, I don't feel like the sex in this series is, like, my favorite.
Yeah.
Personally. But I still understand why for some people, you know, I'm like, me still grieving the loss of Xaden. It's no my woman, my house, my throne.
My chair. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me botching it, but also being like, but that's what I wanted. But
So what you're saying is you're a my house, my chair, my woman girl, and not a I want you splayed out on the table like my own personal feast girl.
yeah, unfortunately. Not that me being like, oh, what sloppy seconds I'm getting. It's fine. It's still a good option. I will say, I mean,
He's a loyal guy.
he is a loyal guy.
And he's clearly helped lead armies before,
Yes.
so he would be a good pick for like a leader on a
Yes,
team.
and he's a good leader to like his court.
Yeah.
You know, he's very loyal to them and does everything he can to like save his people, cares about their safety, all that.
For sure.
So, you know, there's a lot to love about him.
Yeah.
I don't love that he's 500 years old. I need to stop saying things I don't like. Anyway, well, pretend I didn't say that. We'll end it at the last one. He's great.
Next.
That's my number one draft pick. Not number one of the draft. Number two of the draft. Number one on my team, Reese.
Last name here.
Does he have a last name? Worry about that later. Reese, you know.
Comma High Lord.
High Lord of the Night Court.
Okay. Moving right along, I think my second draft pick. Ooh, this is going to be a hard one, honestly, because I was really nervous about getting that first
Right, it's
round
all
pick. So now it feels like
Options
the
wide
options, are a little bit limitless, which sounds like it would be a good thing, but also makes you kind of nervous to like build a team around that first draft pick. You know? I think with my second round pick, I'm going to go with another really reliable guy, someone who has, you know, been in competition before and has succeeded really well. Is also very caring, loyal. You know, it is going to be a good help with bringing the team together. I'm going to go with Haymitch Abernathy.
Oh man, what a good choice. Let's talk about Haymitch. I love being able to bring out the boy. It's funny because on one hand, it's like we do and we don't get to see Haymitch a whole lot in his romantic version. Like picking any of the boyfriends from the Hunger Games does feel a little silly,
Right.
Because there's so much more going on. But Haymitch, I do love that in Haymitch's story, we do get to really see his softer side through Lenore Dove.
For sure.
And I love how devoted he is to her.
Yes.
And truly, I mean, it's so sad that he lost her around the age of, 16.
Yes.
And then for the rest of his life, he's like, no.
No,
That was it for me.
He was, he knew then, and that's the kind of devotion I think he's going to bring to the team over here on Team Sam.
Yeah. I love that for him. I love that for you.
Yes.
I'm also really excited to see, again, on screen, how this gets portrayed.
Yes, I'm excited to see possible wig situation back on screen.
Moment for the wig.
A moment for the wig.
Will you wear wigs? Do you know that? You don't? Oh, I'll have to show you this later.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have Haymitch on the team.
Yeah, he's really like the lover boy.
Yes.
I feel like.
He's such a lover boy. Like, we know a lot about him from Hunger Games, pre-Sunrise on the Reaping, and we know that he has been in the games before, has won, so he's no stranger to being a champion, like I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
But then also, like you were saying, in Sunrise on the Reaping, we see him being a little bit softer, very devoted, very loyal, very caring, so we know he's also got that side of him, which is very important in a book boyfriend draft as well,
Yes. People might look to him in the original Hunger Games and be like, no, he's hardened, he's a little gritty, mean, whatever. But it's like, when you think about him in just this book, like the version of him that should have existed without the Hunger Games ruining his life, basically, and without Snow ruining his life, like, completely different man.
He's top tier.
Yeah.
Top tier. We're very excited over here to have him on the team.
Great pick. Great pick. I think that with that, part of me is like, I was worried that you were going to pick this person, and I'm like, well, I could pick them.
Ooh, okay.
I really want them on my... Well, do I want to do it now, though?
I mean, what if they're further down on my list? If you want them on your team, now's your chance.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it, even though I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh.
It's fine. You'll be fine, I think. I don't have the physical book, but I'm going to choose Miles from Funny Story.
Oh.
I'll bring down that one. So I don't have that book.
Insert Funny Story.
We'll see if my editing says, yeah, I'll do that. Put that there. So I honestly, this was a very last minute sort of decision for me because I very recently finished Funny Story, like 1 or 2 weeks ago. And I honestly was really blown away and was surprised by how much I loved this MMC. I think that he's honestly very different because obviously kind of common theme I feel like in the book community with romance is that we love a grumpy and sunshine sort of combo. And don't get me wrong, I do love that. But I think it is just really refreshing when you find an MC who is actually really friendly and kind and considerate. And it kind of reminds you, like, wait a second, like, sure, seeing a grumpy person, like, actually fall in love is fun to see. But maybe in real life, we don't see that always happen a lot, and it certainly can be maybe problematic. Whereas this is like the real life version of what you would want in a person. Like, he is so kind. Yeah. And I love how enthusiastic he is for his people. He does anything for his girl as well as like just the people that he cares about. And honestly, I think he is the type of person who will just drop everything to help someone, whether or not he really knows them. And I think that is so admirable. And, you know, the whole thing about his book was like, he gets painted a little bit like, oh, well, he's just a loser. He's just a bartender. Yeah. But then you find out just like how truly sweet he is. And maybe that was also part of it, was that it's like, he really flips it on his head. Yeah. And is just such a good person that I was like, I can't help but stan. I love him so much.
He's a good one. He'll bring a lot to your team. And, you know, with the genre shift as well, I mean, obviously we were going from like romantasy, which still has like romance elements in it. I mean, I think really the whole idea of book boyfriends kind of spawned from romantasy specifically. Right. But it's nice that we are switching genres a little bit here to like romance, where these characters are from that universe, right? Miles is from that universe, last name unknown.
He does have a last name, but I did forget to look it up.
We're not doing so hot with last names this
lately.
Yeah, just at all.
The last 4 episodes.
I mean, you're so right.
Sorry, Ashley Poston.
Poston.
We still have
on. Yeah.
Look, it's fine.
Well, but, you know, with him being from a romance book, you know that he's got strengths there.
Yes.
As a book boyfriend. And quintessentially, on paper, he's a great boyfriend. Despite what other people say about, you know, him being a loser, or just a bartender, or a stoner, you know, not having anything going for him. Really, he's kind, he's caring. You know, he's got all of these great traits to make a solid book boyfriend, and somebody that you would want to be your boyfriend just like in real life too.
Yes, 100%. And I wouldn't necessarily think of this when I think of him, but we also have to remember that this book's trope is that there's a fake dating trope. And low-key, like, whenever it starts, he is so here for it. He's like petty in like the best way, where it's like he's not actually petty, but he's also kind of like, it's kind of funny.
He's got some personality to him.
Yeah, he's like, you really told your ex that we're dating? That's hilarious. That's incredible. I'm here for it. Yeah. He's like, absolutely, sign me up. And he's low-key like, bro, you need to see the look on this guy's face if I kiss you right now. And it's like,
yes. So he's down.
He's down.
He's down.
He's truly, in my opinion, I'm like, okay, not that there's no downsides. Like, he is a very forgetful person. That's kind of one of his things. He's always like running late. But it's also, like she points out, it's because he's so in the moment that he's not always thinking about the time. And so, like, he loses track of things in that regard. But he's also like...
That's what I'm going to tell people when I'm running late.
Yeah, I'm just so in the moment.
I'm just so in the moment.
Yeah. And he also, like, tracks down Daphne's dad to try and, like, get him to sort of right his wrongs and, like, really goes above and beyond, in my opinion. And I adore that. And
he'll do that for your team, girl.
And he'll do that for my team.
There you go.
Miles, welcome to the team.
All right. We're coming up with a solid group of guys here. You know what? I think I'm going to stick with the romance era book boyfriends with my third pick here. This pick I think is pretty popular specifically right now in the kind of like romance era. This book boyfriend has also kind of moved from the literary onto the small screen, if you will. So he's kind of risen in fame. I think the girlies will agree that, you know, this is a good pick. I will say that he has kind of been already in competition with one other decent player. But I think if we can be honest, this guy is the right pick over our other player over here. With my 3rd round pick, I'm going to go Conrad Fisher from The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh.
Insert book cover here. We also don't have this one, so I'm just going to...
You're going to have to tell me more about him because
Insert.
I actually have no clue what he's like.
Oh, girly.
I'm excited. Tell me about Conrad.
I'm hoping that the audience is kind of on board, like listening and watching and thinking, okay, yeah, this is a good pick. Because I feel pretty solid for what he's going to bring to my team over here. So I will be honest, I haven't finished the book series of The Summer I Turned Pretty. So I don't really know how he is portrayed as much in the books as he is on screen. So I'm mostly going from the TV show, which is why I also say that I think he's a pretty popular pick because season 3 is coming out right now. I think the first 5 episodes are out. I'm a little bit behind on the series as well. And, throughout the series, we've kind of been in competition between Conrad and his brother Jeremiah, and people have been like, Team Conrad, Team Jeremiah for our main girl, Belly.
I didn't know they were brothers. That's crazy.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They are brothers. We got a lot of Conrad in the first season. We got a lot of Jeremiah in the second season. And now in the 3rd season, I think it's becoming clear, hopefully, that Conrad is the right pick. He suffered a little bit in the game due to some personal traumas. His mother passed away. So there was a lot of grieving. Obviously, he's going to college. He's at that stage in his life where also you're trying to figure out what to do with your life. So there's a lot of personal things going on. And he did fumble a little bit, but I don't think it's because he was a bad book boyfriend. I think even in his hardest times, he was trying his best to be there for our girl Belly. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out the first time around, but I'm willing to give him a second chance because I think in this 3rd season, he's really showing up for her, especially knowing that he's got this competition with his brother, who Belly is currently with. He's been so respectful, but also at the same time, still very there for her. I think he's going to add, maybe a little bit of youth to the team as well. He's going to add a little bit of a sultry, mysterious vibe too.
Okay. I like the sound of this. Honestly, I know that it can be a matter of preference whether we want guys who are sort of more persistent versus not. But I do think that in a situation like that, it makes sense to be vocal about how you feel.
Yes.
And I do love that. But it's I'm not going to give up on you and what we had. And I understand my mistakes and I'm coming back.
Yeah.
I'm coming back strong.
He's coming back stronger this next season. I'm not fully caught up, but he's still in the running. Not that anybody who was Team Conrad ever really counted him out, but I'm excited for what he's bringing to this next season and obviously what he's going to bring to Team Sam.
Yeah.
And also, there are some pretty hot moments with him as well, which we love that.
Man, maybe I need to look into this. I have not watched it, but I think that is a good pick. I think that is very representative of the times.
Yeah.
So, low-key, good choice. I had not thought of that series. I'm really, really excited about my next pick because this is actually my new number 1 book boyfriend overall.
Okay.
It's slightly, and again, this is a slightly recent development, so part of me is am I being affected by recency bias? Things like that. But I did actually save some specific quotes that I was going to share in case anyone was unsure of my loyalties. I am picking Luther Corbois of Spark of the Everflame.
Oh!
So
this is the first last name we've gotten right all episode.
And I only recently learned how to say it because, there's a lot.
And we barely got it right.
We barely got it right because, so this book actually has a lot of French sort of origin names of both characters and things. And I kind of noticed that, but I didn't think anything of it until I was listening to Fantasy Fangirls. They cover, obviously, fantasy books, and they've been covering the series. And so finally, once I got caught up on the series, I immediately went to go listen, and then they said his name, and I'm like, it's not Corbois? What? So, my bad. The interesting thing about this book series is that I guess kind of similar to ACOTAR, even though we have a first book, Luther himself doesn't really show up a whole lot in the first book. He, just because in a way the first book is almost a little bit more of a prequel for like the main character. So the romance really comes in the second book. And I truly, like, the things that he was saying, it was getting so, like, kicking my feet, like, crazy, giggly vibes. I was like, I have to tab these things because, like, honestly, I'm sort of a person that, like, I tab sometimes for the sake of the podcast, like, for notes and stuff.
Sure.
But for my own personal reasons, I usually am not necessarily doing that. Mm-hmm. So this was like, it truly was, I gotta stop. I gotta stop and take note of this because this is crazy. So to note one, they talk about they did kiss once in the first book and they were fighting about like, no, you kiss me. And he says, "Rest assured, my queen, when I do kiss you, there will be no confusion. You will know that I have claimed you, and I won't have any desire to deny it." And I love the note of when I do kiss you.
Not if.
Not if.
When.
Let's see. He also has one. The girl says, "Or maybe you prefer me in muddy pants and a borrowed tunic." And he says, "Only when it's mine." "If a kiss is the reward, my queen, I'll get on my knees for you whenever you want."
Oh, a man on his knees.
And he loves to get on his knees for her. We have one good girl mention.
We love a good girl.
Yeah. And ironically, the main character in this series ends up naked in quite a few situations.
I see.
Like, not for sexual reasons, just like her clothes mysteriously are gone. And
interesting.
so at one point she's like, "It's just skin. You've seen me in much less, remember?" His glittering eyes shot to mine, impossible to forget.
Oh, Luther.
Yeah, there's also a scene where he gives her a foot massage, which low-key, not that that's something I necessarily normally would care about, but it goes crazy. And it's like, this stands out to me more than a sex scene does.
Oh, okay.
Lots of crazy tension, and also in general. So those are fun quotes. But to advocate for my guy as like a person and not just a sexual object.
Right, they're people.
Right.
They're
Sorry,
people.
I got excited. I said bring out the sexual quotes.
Right.
To advocate for him, he is definitely, again, one of those guys that it's like, I will do anything for my girl. He is meant to like sort of protect their realm, but once she becomes queen, he's like, actually my job is just to protect her. Mm-hmm. She is the most important thing, both to me and also in his opinion, like for the sake of the world. Mm-hmm. And so when he actually gets a demotion because they're like, your loyalties are changing, you are way too focused on this girl.
Yeah.
But he is just so sweet and understanding, and especially because his girl is low-key, like, even though she's a very, like, fiery personality, she overall is, like, such a sweet person and is, like, doesn't want to kill a single person.
Yeah.
And he literally will be, like, he's, like, about to kill this guy, and he's like, damn it, she wouldn't want me to kill him. And it's like...
I shouldn't.
Like, I'll bring him over and we'll see what she says, but I know she's gonna say no. I just love him.
That.
He is loyal to the bone. He's a little bit more reserved, I feel like, than our typical MMC. Kind of standing in the corner, just like observing. Also really good at heart. Like in this world, there's like half mortal people and they're supposed to be outlawed, or like as soon as like any half mortal child is born, they're supposed to be killed. And he himself is a half mortal. Not that a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
But technically his job is to be the one that executes these children, but he always finds a way to get them to safety, basically. Mm-hmm. So he really is out here always trying to do good.
Yeah.
And make improvements. He could be doing more. There's a lot of talk about like privilege in these books and whatnot, but for what he can do and for what he has access to before like kind of learning more from this other girl, he's doing a lot. He's a really good person.
We love that.
And I stan.
We love a guy with a good moral compass. We love a guy that is like, let me ask for her opinion. We love a guy that values his girl's opinion.
Yes, he really does. And also, low-key, it's like, okay, is he like maybe a little too submissive? No. He's not.
I like to hear that as well.
Yeah. Perfect. In my opinion, the perfect combination.
We like a good combination of like, okay, like I'll listen to what you tell me, but also I could take charge if I needed to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally. This girl oftentimes is like, I want a love that like burns. I want like fiery passion, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's really what they have. Okay. Even though in personality, he maybe doesn't exactly give that vibe.
Yeah.
That is definitely how their love comes across.
Okay.
So it's like, if you know, you know. I know this is maybe a slightly more like nuanced choice because it definitely has been getting a lot more popular, this series.
Yeah.
But if you know, you know. So I'm really hoping that my Spark of the Everflame people show up for my draft. And they're like,
all right, here we go.
they see me.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my third pick.
I think that'll be a good third pick. Okay, for my fourth pick, I was mentioning a little bit earlier, I think, to Carly during the draft that I felt like, or before the draft, that I felt like our top three, that was going to be the most like tense part of the draft. Not that picks 4 and 5 aren't important, but I'm glad that we've gotten a solid 1, 2, 3, and there wasn't too much contention over who we were picking.
Yeah.
Because I feel like now as we're rounding out the draft, we can pick some more, personality hires, if you will.
Yeah. This is kind of like bonus points of like, if people know them, then that's nice. We kind of got the big dogs out of the way.
Yes.
This is all for fun now.
I agree. Yeah. I am going to stick with, I think, the romance genre for my fourth pick. This guy, I think we've known a couple different versions of him. He's evolved a little bit as a player, which I think is a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing to, kind of change your play style a little bit as, the game evolves, as you evolve, as your girl evolves. It's important to stick with the times and kind of evolve as necessary, change as necessary. And despite having changed, maybe, depending on your perspective, quite a bit, I do still think that who he is as a person has remained consistent. I think he remains passionate about the game, passionate about his girl,
I'm so curious what you mean by game. Do you mean the game of the draft?
Yeah, of course. About his game, his game, Carly.
His game.
With my fourth pick, I'm gonna go for James/Ewan Ashton. From The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Poston.
I can't believe we have it.
Sorry, Ashley.
Sorry, Ashley. We really love you.
From The 7-Year Slip.
Good pick. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So this is a book that we've already covered on the pod. So we've kind of talked about, pros and cons already of kind of what we like about James / Ewan. Because as, it evolves throughout the book, we kind of get to know them as two separate people before we realize that they are just the same person 7 years apart. But like what I was saying, I think he has evolved a lot as a player. I think his game has evolved as well. But I do think he remains, passionate about what he does. Like I said, passionate about his girl as well, For all of the years that they've been apart, he has remembered her time and time again. And from the very beginning, he showed a very playful side and kind of brought that out in her. And I think that was a big part of their relationship. And while it took a while to get back there 7 years later, I think he displays a lot of those same signs of loyalty, of playfulness, of, obviously also being intelligent and, a good conversationalist. So I think he's going to bring a lot of that to Team Sam. Whether it is the Ewan version of him or the James version of him, I think we can use both sides on the team. I think he's going to be a very versatile player for the team because of that. And I'm excited to see what he does out there in the field.
Yeah, agreed. Obviously, it's great that we see from him in the book that he is a passionate person, like passionate about his craft. And we do love to see that. Obviously, that's always an attractive quality. I think also one thing that's really cool about him is that, we get a lot of this crazy amount of devotion in the romantasy genre, right? Sometimes, even though we might see it in the romance genre, it might not come across as intensely as it does in romantasy. But I think that because of the magical realism in this book, we kind of get a great mix of both. That, like, the fact that he met
Clementine.
Yep. He met Clementine. Lemon. He met Lemon 7 years ago. But then throughout that entire time, he kind of was always holding out hope.
That he would see her again. Yeah. Because she told him he would.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he holds on to that and he doesn't waver, he doesn't find anyone else.
No.
He's like, no.
He's like, this is the girl for me.
I know who my girl is. Yeah.
For
that is
7 years separated from her. He's like, that's my girl.
yeah, incredible patience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so because of that element, I feel like he is kind of a great representation for a contemporary because of the fact that he has
Yes.
these like notes of the romantic.
Of the romanticy, yeah, that kind of devotion, like you were saying.
Yeah.
He has that, the same kind of devotion that, like, say, Rhys has for Feyre, you know, waiting for her all that time despite her being with Tamlin. Ewan
Yeah.
kind of displays the same signs of, like, she said that she was going to be back 7 years later, or I don't even know if she gave him a time period. I think she just said, like, you will see me again. And he took that to heart. He was like, okay.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I know we already said this in the last episode, but let's not forget how crazy hard the line goes when he said, "It's good to see you again, Lemon."
Oh, yes. In a professional setting, Ewan.
In a professional, he just kind of like leans
bends
in.
down in her ear. Ooh. Like,
So good.
so good. I mean, that was like borderline romantic-y hot, you know?
Yes.
Like, that was hot.
Yeah. Not to mention, like you said, he's playful. Like,
Yeah.
He's just he's a very well-rounded pig.
I agree.
I love the pig. I love
Yeah.
the pig. Yeah.
Glad to have him on the team, honestly.
Good job. Good job, Ewan. All right. Oh, God. Yeah, I also am a little bit like, who am I choosing?
Yeah, it's time to start thinking about just rounding it out. But like I said, you know, I think it's a good opportunity to pick some personality hires, if you will.
Yes, yes. Okay, I think that I am going to go with someone also from contemporary romance. And
Okay.
unfortunately, I do not have a physical copy of this book. So again, maybe I put it here. We're talking to Carly
here
in
it
like
is.
a month and seeing
Yeah.
if she
Carly.
puts in the work to figure
here.
out how to do this. I am going to go with Beau from Out on a Limb
Okay.
by Hannah Bonham Young. I read this for my romance book club, and I didn't know a whole lot about it. It's actually about two people who both have physical disabilities, and it's crazy because there's so many things that you would think are going against it, because not only is it a one-night stand trope, it is a pregnancy trope.
Oh.
Yeah. So you would be surprised
Interesting.
that this book really hits as hard as it does.
Yeah.
But in general, the book as a whole, great book, would 100% recommend. Like, I have not explored either of those tropes really deeply at all, but I think if there's ever going to be like one that's really good, it's this one.
Okay.
And I really love the way that Beau is like so understanding of like these kind of crazy circumstances. He's really excited because I think he, from his perspective, didn't think that he was going to get to have a child in his life. So like he was very excited for this moment, but also like very respectful of like, you know, this is the woman's choice.
Yeah.
And obviously it's like we actually didn't know each other really.
Yeah.
So he's incredibly supportive. He's incredibly kind. He's also like kind of nerdy. He's a nerdy guy. He is kind of rich.
We love that.
We love to see it. He's not like billionaire rich, but like, because also I think the girl, like, you know, she's trying to figure out like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get a nursery? And he's like, I already own a house.
Okay.
Why don't you just move in with me?
A provider.
Yeah, because I think also like their original plan was that they were just going to co-parent.
Yeah.
And then they end up falling in love.
Yeah.
So he's like, he's like, you're pregnant. You should just live with me. Like,
Yeah.
I have a house. I think she was going through like maybe a bit of housing trouble. And he's like, you don't need to worry about this. Just live with me.
Yeah.
And so then they live together. And then like his dad comes and visits and it's like, oh shit, well, one of us he's got to sleep somewhere. I'm going to sleep on the couch. No, you shouldn't sleep on the couch. I'll sleep on the couch. Oh,
classic.
Maybe we just
There's
share.
only one bed.
Maybe we just share a bed.
One bed.
Oh no. I just think that it's a really well done story and he's just a very sweet guy, very sweet and charming dude. So if you've read the book, and I hope you have, I understand that like kind of because of those trope reasons, I'm like, oh, maybe this was kind of a risky pick.
Okay.
But I stand by it. I think everyone should read it. And if you know, you know. Welcome to the team, Beau.
Okay. It's time for our final picks. I'm a little nervous.
It's down to the
because
wire.
now, because it's down to the wire, it kind of feels like at first, first round is kind of hard because you want to start off strong. But last round pick, I think, is equally as hard because now you only have a spot for one more.
I know, there's still a lot of good options out there, so it kind of sucks that this is it.
Yeah, this is it. Honestly, I was torn and still am a little bit. There are a lot of, like you said, a lot of good options still out there. So it is tough that, I can only extend an offer to one more player. But I do think that this player brings a lot to the table. I don't think we've necessarily had the opportunity to see a lot from him, just because in his universe he hasn't quite had the opportunity to prove himself, if you will. But he's got a really strong backstory. And I think because of that, it means that he's got a lot going for him in the future. We are doing a little bit of drafting for potential here with this pick on Team Sam. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing with this player because, like I said, I think from what we've seen so far and what we know about him, that he'll bring that kind of strong level of devotion, which is a top tier characteristic that we are looking for in these book boyfriends. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to bring that to the game. I think he's already kind of started to bring it to the love interest in his universe. So I'm excited to see him bring that to Team Sam. For my 5th round draft pick, I am drafting Lucien Vansera.
Yes. Great
from
choice.
ACOTAR.
Oh. I didn't grab.
Insert here.
I only grabbed this
I guess
book.
we do have Mist and Fury, so same universe.
Same, just pretend.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited to have him on the team. I think, like I said, we haven't seen that much from him. We know a little bit about his personality. We know he's fun, he's witty, and we know that he's kind of been playing side piece here a little bit, side character.
Yeah.
And especially when we move from Spring Court to Night Court, he is kind of demoted even further, I think, to very, very low in the ranks, so he's easy to forget about. But I think if you take him for who he is as a character, he's got a lot to offer.
He really does.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if we think back to the first book, in my opinion, I was like, he's not the one we're supposed to like.
Yes, right?
Because, I can see how maybe he's giving a little bit of best friend.
Yeah,
energy.
best friend energy.
But he's so snarky and witty. Him and Feyre's banter is a lot of fun.
Yes.
And I also really like what we see from him down the line. Yes, like you said, technically he is a side character in this story, but because we have 5 books to work with, we do see a lot of him.
Yeah.
And we see how devoted he is to Elaine, even though obviously there is kind of contention here because Elaine does not want to be with him.
Yes.
But I do appreciate that he's aware of that, and he respects
and
that
has been respectful.
Yeah.
While still showing her that, he cares about her. And if all she wants is from a distance, that's what he's willing to give.
Yeah. I really feel bad for him in his position because you can tell he so badly wants more.
Oh, for sure.
How sucky that must be to be fated to someone.
Yeah.
And then it's or mated to someone, fated mates to someone, and it's just she doesn't want me. It's kind of decided for you, and it's I can't stop what I feel. Mm-hmm. So, a very difficult position to be in, but I'm really hopeful for Lucien in the future.
Yes.
I really hope that in this next book he gets a happy ending.
Yes.
I hope.
Yeah, we need something for our boy. And honestly, maybe I'm going to be using that to my advantage here with this draft pick, bringing that kind of devotion over here to Team Sam, because clearly he wants to put it somewhere. So
Yes.
That's going to round out my team here. So I think we've got one more on your team, and then we'll have a full draft.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to look at my list and I'm trying to see.
It is tough when you've only got one more spot. I get it.
Yeah, I have 5 picks left on my list of people that I was considering. Mm-hmm. And it is a little hard because part of me wants to try and diversify personalities, kind of.
Sure, yeah.
But then, honestly, a lot of them do share similar qualities no matter what. If I'm going for this personality type, well, it matches these 2 people. And if I go for this one,
Mm-hmm.
So
I understand where you're coming from, though. You want You want a little bit of diversity.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
It's a team, you know?
Yes, it's a team.
The
I'm
team
trying to
plays
appeal
together.
to a lot of people.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, it must be a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like, does that change things for me?
Who will play well together?
Who will play well together? You know what? Okay, yes. I, kind of similar to you, I think I'm going to go with a bit of a heavy hitter.
Okay.
Someone who's, like, well-known and recognizable.
Yeah.
And I also don't have the physical book for. So again,
Yeah. Right here.
right here. I'm gonna go with Peeta Mellark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right
right here. Peeta, my boy.
He's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Especially, I recently re-listened to the series in preparation for Sunrise, and I was really reminded, like, he's really good.
He's a
really good book boyfriend.
He's a good guy.
He's very sweet, very empathetic, very kind and caring. I love the way that he, like, has always taken note of things about Katniss throughout their lives. You can really tell that he likes her as a person.
Yeah.
And not just like, oh, she's pretty. It's kind of funny because if you're in the sort of like online book community, you know that there's been a little bit of like tension about Ali Hazelwood made a comment about like Peeta's useless.
Oh.
It's actually a little bad. People came for her so bad that she left the internet. It's not great. We don't need to bully people.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I disagree with her take. I think,
of course, yeah.
I think it kind of speaks also to like sort of the point of the series and sort of what Peeta and Gale sort of represent. Like Peeta's meant to represent this take on life that we can be a little bit more pacifistic. That's not a word, but like he represents pacifism as a whole.
Yes.
And sure, I understand that like maybe pacifism isn't like a completely perfect version of events, but also like we don't need to always be jumping to coming down each other's throats and getting the one up on people in such a violent way.
Yeah.
And I love the way that he really uses his words to unite people. Obviously, we go through some shit with him in the last book, and that's not his fault. And we come back from it as well.
Yes.
I will never forget the moment at the end of the book, too, when, you know, everything's over, the rebellion's done, they've won, and they go back to their little victor's village, and Katniss sees him outside planting some primrose in the garden for her. And it's just like, he's so sweet and thoughtful.
Yeah.
He really is just so perfect. Like, if this man existed IRL, it's like, how do you say no?
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And not to mention, Josh Hutcherson plays him.
Yeah.
And adore Josh Hutcherson. Great guy.
He's a good pick. Peeta's gonna be, I think he'll be a good addition to your team. I find him very similar to your second round pick, Miles. Not in a bad way.
Yes, exactly.
In a really, really good way.
I literally was
they're
looking and was like, I have Miles, I have Bo, I have like these sweet guys.
Yeah.
Peeta's kind of a similar vein.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I guess Bo, I don't know that book as well, but
right, but like kind of similar.
Yeah. I think he brings a lot as a book boyfriend, which we have to remember that is the core of this draft. You know, that's what we're drafting these boys for. I think he'll be a great addition to the team, and I think he makes for a great book boyfriend. You know, like what you were saying, despite maybe not thinking too much of his usefulness in the game. Not that he's useless in the game, but I understand where you might think, especially if you don't know the series very well, that he doesn't bring as much competency, I guess, to the games the way that like Katniss does, or if Gale were, you know, reaped as a tribute. He is a little bit different. He has a different skill set, but we also see that he is useful in different ways in the games, you know? So it's not that he's useless at all. And then aside from his character in the games, he does do things for Katniss, right? He gives her the bread, he plants her primrose, like he's there for her in a way that she hasn't been able to allow someone to be there for her. He kind of fills that role, which is, you know, a very book boyfriend trait.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's what I like to see in a book boyfriend. Like, I feel like I have a little bit of a mix of, you know, certainly we like to see those maybe more stereotypical masculine sort of traits, but I also like to see...
We like a sensitive guy.
Yeah, we like sensitive guys. We like to see them kind of break from that mold and show that you don't have to be that way, and that can also be effective. Like, we still did see PETA do very well in the games, despite the fact that maybe he's not the most like physically skilled the way that Gale could be.
Yes.
Or the way that even some of these other people in more of the romantasy. I know that Hunger Games is like kind of its own genre in a way.
Yeah.
But like still, sure, maybe he's not like as physical and maybe is not as like bloodthirsty. That's not really a good way to...
Yeah.
Like, maybe he wouldn't be really willing to kill the way that, like, some of these other guys would be like, I will kill for my girl. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I still think that, like you said, he has a very specific skill set. And I think that just because it doesn't fit in that typical masculine viewpoint doesn't mean that it's not important.
Yeah.
And so I think that, in a way, he does kind of, like... I feel like he's a good capstone because of the fact that, like, yes, he's a sensitive guy, but also he did compete in the games and he did what he had to do. But also, I don't know, kind of, I feel like a good representative of, like, what I'm going for on this team.
Yeah. I like it. And that's our draft, folks.
And that's the draft. Low-key, I know that you said going into it that you were nervous, and now that I'm at the end of it, I'm like, oh God, now I feel nervous. 'Cause it's like, I thought it was going to be smooth sailing, and it's hard. It's hard to pick.
I feel like we had a little bit of a nerve switch. I feel pretty good about my team. I think I drafted a pretty solid group of guys. I think we're ready to go head and head in the championship game. I'm pretty excited about it. If you guys need a refresher of who we've picked, so we've got Team Sam, Team Carly. Team Sam is going to be Zayden, Haymitch, Conrad, Ewan, and Lucian. And Team Carly is going to be Rhysand, Miles, Luther, Bo, and PETA.
Yes.
And that's super important. You guys are going to need to remember that because, like we mentioned earlier in the podcast, there are some stakes at play here.
There are some stakes.
Earlier in the episode, we mentioned that each of our completed teams are going to kind of go head to head for the right to call themselves the best team of book boyfriends. And how are we going to be deciding this, you might ask? We're not.
That's right. You are. So naturally, we are going to be going over to social media. Mm-hmm. And as you might know on Instagram, we can have polls. So
yes.
We will be posting, after this episode comes out, we will be posting on our stories both of our teams so that everyone can still see.
Yes, you'll still get a refresher on there.
And you guys will get to choose which team you prefer.
Which team you think is going to win the game.
Yes. What game exactly? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Favorite.
Yeah.
You
get it.
The book boyfriend royale.
The book boyfriend game. You get it.
It's just based on who you like, okay? Don't imagine them like actually playing football or something. Okay?
Yes.
Just a metaphor.
Yes.
But yeah, so you'll have a chance. You'll have 24 hours, you know, like the stories work. And whichever team wins gets to win the championship.
Yes.
Honestly, there's more at stake for losing than there is to winning. Winning is just like, okay, good, you didn't lose.
Winning is like, okay, you didn't lose, and then you also get to enjoy the losing team captain's punishment.
Yes. So what is the punishment, Sam?
So we did come up with a few punishment ideas, but I think we're gonna go for an I read, you read off the shelf episode where the losing team captain is going to have to read, review, and present on the worst rated book on Goodreads.
Yes. So we checked out Goodreads and we found a list of the lowest rated books, and to be honest, a lot of them are really depressing.
A lot, yeah. We did have to sift, so I guess I should reiterate this isn't the worst rated book, but it is among the like top 50 worst rated books, because we did need to kind of sift through some like self-help, some maybe like religious trauma.
Yeah, some kind of problematic takes.
Maybe, yeah.
But we did land on one that's a fiction.
Yes. One that we think our audience will like as well, because we will be doing this for an upcoming I Read, You Read off the shelf episode. And we will also be posting, you know, kind of a rough start of like, hey, this is what this is going to look like for the I Read, You Read off the shelf on social media once the votes come in. You will know the results right away of who is going to be presenting for the off-the-shelf episode.
Yeah. So stay tuned. It will be a few episodes down the line. We probably aren't going to be coming straight to it, just to give whoever loses some time to read the book. It will be a little bit down the line, but it definitely will be, soon. So stay tuned for that.
We're very excited.
See that punishment play out.
Yes, we're very excited for this. The stakes are very high, so don't forget to vote.
Yes, voting's important.
Don't forget to vote.
Don't forget your civic duty.
Vote.
Vote.
Yeah. So we're super excited for this. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Man, let me look back at our list. I think I gotta be honest. I'm a little nervous.
I feel pretty good, and I don't know if that's. I need you guys to come out for me, okay? Don't make me sound arrogant by being like, I feel really good, but I do. I feel kind of good about my team.
I mean, I think that's fair. I'll be honest. I do think that your team is pretty strong.
Okay.
Because obviously you got my favorite, or one of my favorites, Zayden, on there. But also you do have a lot of good, Haymitch and Conrad.
Yeah.
These are kind of in the air. These are sort of recent things that people have been talking about. So I do think those things help you. Some of mine are a little bit more
yes.
If you know, you know, sort of.
I think yours are a little bit more niche, but our audience, readers do their research, so...
Yeah.
Because I do think you have a strong team. It may just be a little bit more niche. But like I said, readers do their research. So if they're willing to do that, I think you'll definitely get some votes.
Yeah.
So
I'm hopeful that it won't be a landslide. No matter what. I hope. Right, guys? Right, guys?
Right, guys? Or will it, guys?
No.
Guys?
Come on, please. Unless it's for me. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good and fun competition.
Agreed.
And I really hope I don't lose, because low-key, I don't know if I want to read this book.
I'm really excited to see how the votes come out.
Yes.
So again, please don't forget to vote, and we'll be publishing who's going to be reading the punishment book here soon, and then stay tuned for that episode to come out later.
Yes, I'm really excited as well. I love doing votes like this, so I'm really excited to see what people think. If you got your comments to leave, I mean, I guess you can also leave it on the comments of
That's true.
this podcast.
Yeah.
But love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, love to hear if you guys liked the episode, because I think we had a lot of fun with it.
Yes.
This was a good one.
We both love a draft. We love a competition.
Yes.
So this was very up our alley.
Yeah.
And we hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did, even though I'm low-key a little stressed.
But I also think this was a fun way to end Summer of Love. But if Summer of Love is over, does that mean we're done with romance books?
Well, not necessarily. Even though Summer of Love is coming to an end, I think, love seems to pop up in a lot of the books that we read one way or another. So fret not. I don't think that this is the end of love showing up on our podcast. And I think also for this next book that it seems that we will be seeing some love and romance again.
Oh.
Our next book club episode will be covering The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Maybe if you guys can see that.
V.E. Schwab. Yeah, sorry. I forgot to do it the other way. It's only on my Kobo. So maybe I'll put a picture. I mean, at that point, if I've already been putting enough pictures.
Maybe just...
It's going to be crazy if I didn't do it once.
I think it'll be even funnier if you didn't.
Oh, no.
Also, I'm realizing that our Just podcast listeners have probably no idea what we're talking about.
I often forget that there are people who might not look at this episode.
Yes. Yeah, we're talking about putting the book covers on the screen for our visual listeners. We don't have the physical copies of some of these books, so we were talking about doing that. But it remains to be seen whether or not we will do that in editing.
Yes. It's true.
And I think it'll be funny if we don't. It'll just be our hands being like, up here.
Up here.
Look up here.
It might be up here.
It might not.
Yeah, wouldn't it be funny if it's I just write in text sorry guys, I didn't do it.
Honestly, I think it's going to be great either way.
We'll see what I do, because yeah, it's just a matter of time for me.
Well, our next book club episode does come out Tuesday, September 23rd. And then our next Off the Shelf will be coming out Tuesday, October 7th after that. So that's kind of the lineup of the next few episodes. Make sure to follow us on social media for the updated episode schedule, because we always try to keep it up there as well. Thank you so much for listening to our hit podcast, Read Receipts with Carly and Sam. All of the content that you hear in this episode has been curated, recorded, and edited by us truly, with special thanks to the authors of the books that we cover and Pixabay for the music that we play.
I should have stuck to 3 books. I don't know why I got greedy for 4.
Make sure to listen to our podcast wherever it is that you like to listen. And like I mentioned before, please follow us on social media at The Read Receipts Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, because we do post things like our upcoming episode schedule. We post things like voting for your favorite book boyfriend draft pick team, and then other things as well. We try to be as engaging as possible on there. Sometimes it's hit or miss, depending on what our social media manager likes to do or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her.
Same thing with if the editor will put pictures in.
Right.
Social media managers. See what happens.
Yeah, but give us a follow on there. Again, subscribe, and thanks so much for listening. Until our next read. Bye.